Hi, I'm Shaka Hislop, and you're here at Extra Time TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, Trinidad Tobago kicked off their World Cup qualifying campaign with a 3-0 victory over Guyana. So James and I will discuss in one moment. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Extra Time TV. This is Sooklal, and I'm joined with James Baird, and both of us have smiles on our faces because Trinidad Tobago kicked off their World Cup qualifying campaign with a victory. We all know about the chaos going on behind the scenes with goals from Levi Garcia, Sheldon, Bateau, and Telfer in the 7th, 15th, and 44th minute, respectively. James, we spoke about this with Wayne Dover, the under-20 coach of Guyana, who's going to join us tomorrow. Tell me your initial reactions.
I'm a little surprised how disappointing Guyana were. I think the goals came through individual errors, which obviously Coach Maxwell will be very disappointed with. But from a Trinidad point of view, I thought we had some nice combinations. I don't think we were able to get into our flow yet, but it was definitely a really good result for us. I think we could have probably got quite a few more goals. I think we did ease up a little bit. But in general, a 3-0 victory to the start of a campaign is not a bad way to go. So quite impressed in that sense.
Yeah, we spoke in great detail about some of the concerns from Guyana. They are a strong team. They have some strong players, and today just didn't seem to be working out. And a lot of, I wouldn't like to say luck, but it seemed as if things were going well for us. We did have a penalty miss from Jovan Jones. The players looked, reasonably sharp considering all the problems we had leading up to the game. There's a player that has been reported to have, the COVID-19. He tested positive for COVID-19, but he got a good result. What players really stood out for you, James? Basically from just looking at the game for Trinidad Tobago.
Well, I was impressed by Levi Garcia right from the word go. Obviously, kind of lit up the show with that goal. But the funny thing is, Hackshaw was one of the ones that stood out for me. And I remember when I was watching him warm up and the game starting, I remember looking and thinking, he doesn't look in the best shape. But actually, his positional play, I thought his reading of the game was excellent. I also thought young Poon Angarong was excellent in midfield as well. And the debutant Phillips. So I thought those guys did well. And then I thought Jones probably tried too hard, He was trying to, obviously the penalty miss. But I find that when a lot of the big names come back to play for Trinidad, that tends to be the case. They want to come and run the show, and they just maybe don't hit the heights that they have at their clubs. So I was a little disappointed from him, but also from a goalkeeping point of view, I was very impressed with Nicolas Frender. I thought he had a great game. He read the game well. He was quick off his line. So a lot of positive things, and Aubrey David as well was very good too. So I think as a team, it was a good performance. We could have got more goals, but some very good individual performances.
Yep, the goalkeeping performance. And for folks, if you're wondering, James would be the right guy to critique the goalkeepers because he's a former goalkeeper himself from Scotland. So, he knows what he's talking about. But I was very impressed with him as well. I thought, for a guy that, obviously hasn't played much with the national team or at all, that's something I was worried about. And then I'm guessing with Kelvin Jack returning to the lineup, to the nationals, making his first appearance with the national setup because, he wasn't around because of the COVID restrictions. We have some pretty, capable guys in there, preparing. And he looked, pretty solid. And, he commanded his box pretty well. And so there's a couple of situations where he had some back passes that were not favorable. And he commanded his area really well, which we saw on the other side of the coin, which Guyana with Clark. There's some miscommunication with the defender and him, which led to a goal. So, there was an interesting contrast with both players. But I have to admit, I was very impressed with Angeron in midfield. Highland showed his experience. Telfer, I think he was really good breaking in between the lines and making runs, causing lots of problems, getting that penalty. And it was a very positive performance for Trinidad Tobago. I saw, Levi Garcia coming on and, why his name is eluding me right now. But basically, I think, considering all the limitations and problems we had, I think it was a really good performance, and it bodes well going into the rest of the qualifiers. The team needed this lift with all this chaos going on. But, let's talk about the goals. The first goal from Levi Garcia, he's the man who has been in form for his club with Athens, AK Athens. He came back from a long injury, and he brought his goal-scoring form from his club into the national team today. And I think that early goal really set the tone for the rest of the game for us, because I sense that maybe there was an element of anxiety, maybe it's from us, but they really turned things around. So tell me about your thoughts about Levi Garcia's goal and, the impact it had on the overall game.
Well, first of all, I thought that it was a little bit of tactical, I suppose, geniusness from Terry to play him on in a sense, the right, because what seemed to happen is Levi Garcia and Jones kept switching a lot, if you watched. So when Levi Garcia scored the goal, he happened to be on the right side, but he cut in with his left. And to be honest, he caught Clark, I suppose, off guard. I think from a goalkeeping point of view, his position was a little off, and he obviously got beat at his near post. But it's a moment of genius from Levi Garcia to even have the attempt. And as I say, he's cutting in, so he's playing more as in a sense, an inverted winger, And he got the goal, so it was a great goal. As I say, was it a tactical masterstroke? Maybe, So, but a very, very good finish and all.
Yeah, and let's speak about the tactical formation. Both of us guessed it was going to be 4-3-3. Terry seems to favor that formation. It seemed to really work, with the back four, with Sheldon, with Kaleem Highland and, Angeron in the middle, combining with the front three. It was really, the experience combined with the youth was really good. And I think even the second goal that was scored by Bateau, who I hope he's not seriously injured, because I think he's very important for us, moving forward, and, key for us to getting this 6 points that will give us a comfortable cushion. Tactically, a lot of people were questioning how we did things, but in hindsight now, looking back, and we'll talk about this more tomorrow, because this is just a quick reaction. Did you think now in hindsight that maybe the USA game was probably the right, it was a big gamble by Terry. We both agree about that. But do you think that was probably the aggressive preparation that was needed? Was he vindicated?
I think they needed a match. Was the America the match to take? I still question that. But what he needed was an opportunity to give the American-based and Canadian-based guys a chance. He saw them, and obviously most of the guys, let's be honest, that played in that game did not get called upon in this game. So they kind of showed up to the big match. They didn't show up to the big match, and it gave Terry the opportunity to see if they can handle it. And obviously a lot of them couldn't. So it helped in his selection, and I think, as I say, when I saw the 4-3-3 for this match, I was surprised with some of the names. I mean, I thought Primus was coming back more as a backup. I thought I was very impressed with him and Bateau playing there at the back. They did very well. They were comfortable. And I know Primus well. I thought he was coming to the kind of latter stage of his career now, so, but he did very well. And he's keeping out guys like Abu Bakar, Archer. So he's keeping out some good players. So I'm very impressed with that selection, and even the way that the midfield three played together. Angleron, Highland and Phillips. I thought they interchanged well. If one went forward, the other two sat, So they had a good complement they had a good knowledge of how Terry wanted them to play. And then, as I say, even the front three, I would not have thought he would have picked Telfer as the target man. And Telfer really was like one of these little dogs running after a bone, and that's what he did the whole game. And he kicked at people's heels, and he got the yellow card, and he maybe could have got more if he had stayed on. So I think it was a good selection from Terry Fenwick. And even, as I say, Hackshaw surprised me a lot. He didn't look in the best shape, but fantastic positional play. So very impressed.
Yes. We have to give kudos where it's deserved. It was a good victory. Like I said before, considering all the situation that Terry had to face and the national team, all these problems, and to start off against a very strong team like Guyana. Make no mistake, folks. Guyana is a very strong team, and they have very good players. And I think they did really well to get a result against a very strong team. And, we'll definitely have a discussion with Mr. Dover tomorrow, along with James and myself, where we'll discuss a little more in details about the tactics and the stats and so on. But as it stands, and obviously it's subject to change, Trinidad is obviously on top. The group has St. Kitts with another 3 points, Bahamas, Puerto Rico, and Guyana. obviously Guyana would be on 0 as well. So, folks, let us know what you think in the comment section below. Comment, like, subscribe. Check out our preview. Let us know if our predictions, if we were correct. You can call us out because the video is there. James, any final words before we go?
All I would say is it's a great start, but I think we play 4 matches or so, or 2 home, 2 away in a sense. So we have to keep it up, And even though Guyana didn't show up to the match tonight, they could still get some results too. So we have to be very careful because at the end of the day, we have to make it through this group, make to the next stages, and even when we get as far as obviously being up against the big boys like America, Canada, and these ones, we really have to get the cohesion together, get the team playing right, making sure we have the right personnel. So all these games are just one part of the puzzle. So it's a start, it's a good start, and we look forward to what's coming in the future.
Yes. And you read my last question. I was going to address complacency. From what I saw in the game, you could tell that even though we were 3-0 out, you could see the intensity. Terry was shouting, trying to keep the players intense. Because in the past, we've had a tendency, and this is not unique to Trinidad and Tobago. Many teams, when they have a 3-0 lead, they tend to step back, get complacent, even concede a goal. And we didn't see that today. And as you rightfully said, moving forward, complacency is definitely is going to have to be completely erased from this team in any way or form. And, the journey has just begun. There's a lot of games to play. A lot of things can go wrong. You can't underestimate any team, but I think this is definitely the start we needed. I think if we can end this off with, a nice victory over Puerto Rico, I think it would give the team the tranquility and the peace to move forward with confidence, especially the younger players. And I really like the balance of the team today. You could see, based on Terry's training over the last year, that his plan is kind of taking shape now, because we said in our previews, it was very difficult to gauge his style of play because we didn't have much of a reference point beside local games. He had his players in mind, and it seems like he got it right today. Hopefully, Sheldon Bateau is not injured. I saw Jovan Jones. He was reported to be carrying a knock even before the game, and hopefully that's not the case. And I saw he kind of limped around. I also saw Kaleem Highland took a serious hit towards the end. I'm hoping there's nothing serious there. So, folks, let us know what you think about this game. What do you think about the result? What do you think about Terry's tactics? And also, like and subscribe, because tomorrow we will have a more detailed reaction and analysis of the game with myself, James, and Wayne Dover, all the way from Guyana, who was wonderful the last time around. So, James, thank you for joining us. And, folks, it's been a pleasure, and we'll definitely continue this discussion tomorrow.
Just a reminder, everyone, for more episodes with Shaka Hislop, be sure to head over to our YouTube channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more updates, interviews, and content.